Hey guys, welcome to Outlaw Edge Blade Works. So I have so many of these knives that I had to put this on a blanket. So I threw this on a wool blanket in my garage, and I wanted to do this out in the woods, but I think it'd be a lot easier to do this here. These are some, not all, but just a couple of the mora knives that I own in my collection. And this is the peril. This is the bad part about your girlfriend owning a knife store is you kind of end up owning every knife on the planet. If you get a chance to check out her store, it's going to be open back up real soon, and I'm sure she'll be putting a whole bunch of new stuff on there. Right now, her website is really slow and boring because she's just been too busy, and she's getting ready to update it and put a whole bunch of more knives and all kinds of stuff on there, so kind of keep an eye on it. It's mnoutlaw.customs.com. I'll try to remember to put that in the description below. But I appreciate you guys joining me. I hope I don't bore you on this video. And this is just, like I said, this is just some of the moras that I own. I have a lot more, but kind of didn't feel like digging them out of my packs and all that kind of stuff. One of the models that they came out with was the original KJ Erickson 511. And the sheath for this one is inside, and I was kind of too lazy to run in and grab it. It's snowing outside, so it's really slippery and whatever. That's the excuse I'm gonna use. But this was a great knife, and this one here has been beat on for years, and this is a KJ Erickson 511. It's carbon steel, and this is one of my favorite models that Mora came out with, and the reason being is this right here. It's got a really nice, for your finger, it's got a finger guard. That makes a really nice knife right there for a young kid to start learning on, and they don't make... the older ones, the spines weren't 90 degrees, so you can't really strike a fire steel. You're gonna have to file the spine if you wanted to do that. But this was an excellent knife, and these are all Scandi grind, every one of these moras. And as far as I'm concerned, these are all bulletproof. And you guys have seen me use my knives in other videos and whatever, and you know what I put them through. And you can see how beat up this one is. And I mean, the edge is all rolled over, and it's got junk on the blades, sap and everything else, but it's just beat up. But awesome knife right here, really good model for a young kid, and it's or a grown man or woman. If you have big hands, little hands, it doesn't matter. It still fits in your hands really nice, and this is a really comfortable knife. And one of the next ones, I found this a long time ago. In California by the ocean, there was this little antique shop, and I got this for like 12 bucks, and this thing was in mint condition. And this is a KJ Erickson Mora 510. And this is just like the knife I was just showing you. The handles are almost identical, except they don't have the lanyard hole here, and then they don't have the finger guard right here. And I like this knife, but I've had problems where I've slid my hand past that and caught the blade and cut myself pretty good. And that's not good. But this one here is stainless, and this one here is carbon, and you can tell the difference. The patina on the carbon is really good because the stainless won't rust, and you can use this in salt water and whatever. I imagine that's why it was over by the ocean. Somebody was using this in, like a crabbing knife or a clam knife or whatever you want to call them. Abalone knife. But another really nice Mora knife that they've had in the past. And this one here is the 760 model. I recently picked this up for my collection, and I got this for like $3 at a swap meet, and I was really tickled because this is one that I've tried to find, and I've always thought the sheaths are garbage, which they kind of are. I mean, that's just my opinion. And I believe this is like a dive knife, the way they have this sheath set up. But if I remember correctly, I think this is a high carbon blade right here. And this is a Erickson Frost or Frost Mora Sweden knife. And it actually says Frost right here. And it's got a lanyard hole. And I've always wanted one of these and never got to mess with one of them. And I finally got one, and I just think they're a really neat knife, and I'm gonna make a sheath for this or whatever. But this is a great knife also. It's got a really nice purchase on it, nice big beefy fat handle on it, and it's I'm not positive, but I believe this is high carbon. So one of the next knives, this is the classic #1, and this is actually in a 511 sheath. And this is this paracord is, I run this on my necks for a neck sheath, and then the paracord here is just extra, so I have it, you know, I usually do that to all my neck knives so that I have plenty of paracord to go with them. And I'm gonna try to speed this video up a little bit so it's not long and boring. But this has a patina that I did on it, a forced patina, and this is I believe this is a classic #1 high carbon mora, and it's like in really good condition. And the reason it's in such good condition, I was with Jay a couple years back, and I was using this knife, and I went to stick it in a log like this, and there's no finger guard or nothing, and you can see how that sticks up there. And this thing cut me really bad right here. I actually ran my hand down that blade, and this thing is a razor. You can shave with this knife. And that was the last day I carried it or used it, and it's been sitting in my knife box since. Other than that, they do make one with a guard that I really like, and I used to never like the ones with the guards on them, but now I see why people want guards on their knives, so that they don't run their finger down the blade like I've done a couple times. This next one I run as a neck carry, and I took the hole in the bottom and I forced the paracord through this is not paracord here, but I had paracord on it at one time. I forced the cordage through the bottom with a loop in there, and I pulled it tight. That way you can hang upside down on your neck. And then I took in, this one was ruined, the sheath was jacked up, it was all messed up, so I cut the belt loop off, and I heated it up really good right here, and I made it so that it's got a really nice detent, and it pops in there and you won't lose your knife. There's no wiggle, no nothing. And I did that just so you can wear it upside down as a neck knife. And this is a high carbon 511. I've had this for years and years, and you can see I've started many fires with it, with rocks like flint, and use this carbon knife to throw sparks. Excuse me. But this is another excellent knife though. Like I said, I really like that thumb setup, or that finger setup right here, the finger guard. I'm not going to bore you with that though. Now this one, I looked on here, and I was trying to figure out which model this was, and I couldn't find it on the internet. This is just like the Bushcraft Black, but this is the early style that they came out with. And this is a stainless steel model. And this has a leg drop down like a Bushcraft style drop down on the sheath. And when you don't want to use it, you can just roll it out of the way. A little bit different style sheath, plastic. And then it has this really grippy rubber on the handle, stainless steel. And then it has the hard plastic on the inside. And this knife is tough. I beat on this thing really bad, and I'm telling you, these moras are indestructible. This is a great knife. Really grippy, whether your hands are greasy or bloody or wet or whatever. I mean, really super grippy with this material like this. And I believe this is where they got the Bushcraft Black model design from, because this is the same exact knife if you look at it. And this sheath, when you push it in here, there's no wiggle, no nothing. It's got a really nice detent, and there's some jimping right here that you have to actually push on just to get the knife out. It's a great knife. One of my favorite moras, I've had this forever. I've ran this for about 25 years, 20 years, somewhere in there. And this is the Mora Clipper MG, one of my favorite models. This is the MG stands for military green. I put this paracord on here. And it still has a really nice detent in the sheath. And this is a stainless model. I picked this up years ago for like $9. One of my favorite models. Highly recommended right here. Super comfortable knife, really grippy. Has that same style rubber on the outside where your hands can be wet. Holds an awesome edge. This is that awesome Swedish steel that they use. Picked this one up recently. More robust. This is just like the MG Clipper I was just showing you, but it has a lot bigger belly right here. And then this is a high carbon with a forced patina. It's been gun blued. Jay did this for me. Same style sheath, same style blade. I believe this one's a little bit thicker than the MG. Has a nice 90-degree spine. Great knife, bulletproof. Now this one I made the leather sheath for. I've had it for a lot of years, and this is an old seat belt, and I put the button here. Excuse me. And this is a stainless steel 440. Sorry about that. 440 scout knife, and this is in Sweden. They use these for the Boy Scouts and whatever, the Scouts, and this is what they teach them with. And it has actually a small guard on the top and the bottom. Super tiny little knife. It's real small in the hand, real super lightweight, but tough as hell. And this is one of my ADC knives that I carry when I go to town or go to the movies or something like that, and I want to have a kind of a nice knife to carry on my side. That's why I made this sheet this way. And I'm gonna trade sides here so I can keep showing you what we got going on here. And this is the next one. Is the one of the newer models that came out with a while back. This is a Mora Light My Fire. And it's got that grippy rubber right here. Nice little plastic sheath. Hard plastic. And right here has a fire steel. This is one of the best inventions in my opinion. I've always wanted to have a knife with a fire steel in the knife. So if you get lost out in the woods, you not only have your knife, but you have your fire steel to go with it. And this is stainless steel and has a super sharp 90-degree spine for striking the fire steel. Sorry about that. Has a nice lanyard that it comes with, so you can hold it on the knife. And then if you take off the fire steel, you have your fire steel with your lanyard right there. This is another 511. This is the green model. Stainless steel. This is my kayak knife that I use most of the time for kayaking. And I put the paracord on there. Nice little knife, one of my favorites. This thing is like a scalpel, extremely sharp. This one here is, I believe this is the Craftline Q Basic 511. And this is high carbon. Awesome knife. One of the things I do not like though is this right here will come out of the sheath if you do it right, if you bump it or whatever. Now, just a minute ago I was messing with it and it didn't want to lock in there, so. But anyways, other than that, I love the knife. Don't really care for the sheath too much because the detent wears out really fast. And I haven't used this that long. I've only had this for about 7 months. Now this one has the same exact sheath and I haven't had no problems with it, so it doesn't make no sense to me. And this one locks in there really nice. It's got a really nice detent. It's the same style sheath. I don't know if it's something to do with the rubber on the outside, but this is the high carbon. You can see it's all rusty because I haven't taken care of it. I beat the crap out of this knife out in the snow and everything else. It's one of my all-time favorite Mora knives. And this is also the basic 511 Craftline Q, I believe is what this one is. I might be wrong on that. But anyways, it's got a really nice sheath, and I put a lanyard on here so I can run it on my neck. This is an amazing knife right here. But anyways, I hope I didn't bore you guys, and I appreciate you watching the video. And thanks a lot for watching. Take care.